Breaking news, it finally happened. Uber has filed to go public. Let's go to Jared Blikre. He is in our newsroom with more details. Jared.
Yeah, first, what we don't know here, lots of placeholders. We don't know the number of shares that they're going to be selling or the actual number or the pricing of the shares, what the range will be. But we have a couple of details here. We learned that they actually turned a profit in 2018, $997 million in net income. Now, they did have an adjusted EBITDA loss of $1.88 billion. That makes me wonder if they had some kind of tax effect that contributed to their profit, but we'll have to dig in there. Their revenue in 2018 was $11.3 billion, and their gross, looks like the revenue from ride-sharing products was $9.2 billion in 2018, and a couple of other numbers here. Their gross bookings from ride-sharing was $41.5 billion. It's a lot of money.
Jared Blikre live in our newsroom going through the Uber S1. We're all looking at it here as well. Yep. Looking at that revenue for ride sharing, 2016, $3.5 billion, jumping to $9.2 billion in 2018. Looking at the growth here, and as Jared said, some profitability. Yeah,
I'm just pouring through these things right now, but maybe a little bit better than people anticipated, Jim, particularly given the fact that I gather that on an operating basis they made a little bit of money at one point, and the trajectory is as strong as people anticipated. One thing I noticed is that they had nearly 50 pages of risk factors, 50 pages. And you know,
and they're typically very long,
right? But yes, this is a little bit longer than usual. And I was reading if our employees, if our drivers become employees, overseas risks, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm actually looking through that. And
something that strikes me just in terms of like the platform of it, talking about Uber Freight in here, talking about the meal delivery, the average time that they've seen their delivery go to just about 30 minutes. And the letter from the CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, really trying to reframe Uber into a more, I almost want to say, Lyft-like company, talking about the pride they take in their drivers and who they are. We are seeing Lyft right now down after hours. You know, of course, now these two companies go together. It's like the two never shall part.
Massive move in
Lyft and Uber.
Big brother, little brother.
But a little bit of a move there. We're watching it. But talking about the massive network effect and total addressable market here, Miles, what are you looking at?
Well, let's just go through some of the numbers. You know, Jared was talking about that that net profit that Uber recorded in 2018. But if you go down the income statement here, it looks like there's an other income, you know, either income or expense line further down on page 24 of the S1. So in 2018, they recorded a nearly $5 billion charge in an other category that in the previous years it had a $16 million of income, and the year before that, 2016, had $139 million of losses. So there's basically this large outstanding $5 billion charge that it's not exactly clear to me at this point what that is, but that is why the adjusted EBITDA is negative $1.8 billion for the full year 2018, despite that top line profit of about $1 billion, $997 million. So certainly some goofy things with the accounting going on in here that we'll have to figure out. There's no obvious footnote to follow through here. If any viewers are watching going through the S1 and would like to let me know what's happening on page 24 here, that would be great. But I think we'll all get a lot more clarity on what exactly is happening with their financials. Or I think another possibility, we won't get that much more clarity, right? There's going to be a lot of numbers in here in a lot of different places. And I think that's kind of the excitement to some extent, certainly to the accounting types of what these S1s are really all about.
I'm looking at the 2018 summary compensation table, and Dara Khosrowshahi's comp, mostly stock, 45 million, 40 million of it stock awards. So that's another thing to sort of dig into as well, and other top executives there, of course.
And diluted share count up to 478 million shares at the end of 2018 from 411 back in 2016. So certainly a lot of dilution there for early holders.
And we buried the lead. The ticker?
UBER.
Thank you.
Right.
Love when companies just keep it simple.
Yes, good.
Or they have your initials.
Right, yes.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Or their key operating metric in the case of Twitter is an MAU, which is the full
you like that
full
as well.
acronym for me there.
We got a lot to go through here. We will continue to ply our way through it.
Papers out of here.